I'm here in Discord in Roanoke Season 2. Well, Brendan and Noah are going to kind of show me around. I'm
Sure.
curious.
So we're really going to be focusing on kind of like that left-hand bar that shows where all of the rooms are.
Yep.
At the top, it's been a little bit reorganized for our downtime, as far as how this would normally look. The three first things at the top over there, those are one shots that we've done in between seasons 2 and 3.
Okay.
So we try to keep community involvement up by extending certain parts of the story. Whatever might have caught our interest from the previous year, we'll try to work that into a little bit of extra lore for the kind of diehard fans who are at the core of our group.
Yeah.
They're open for everybody, but that's who shows up, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Chucholti was an interesting project. I have a habit of kind of using other board games and things to vamp off of for roleplay ideas. This one was Jumanji. We actually had a board game where like crazy things would start happening, rhinos bursting out of the walls or whatnot, as they played this game, and you might get sucked into the game and lose several years of your life before you come back, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then down below that, kind of start getting into the meat of the game. Roanoke Town. If you kind of expand that, it shows you all of the permanent player hubs.
Right.
And where we deal with like what is actually the ins and outs of the city.
Yeah.
A couple of spots in there, you'll see things like the mayor's house. That was
Can I click on
where.
that? Oh, sorry.
If you click on the mayor's house, that's actually a voice chat. Is kind of where it's going. So
okay.
that's one of the places where I can give out information in character.
Yeah.
Then we have, kind of near the town, we're starting to say, all right, well, we don't have things that you can get to on the map, but you can still like physically walk out of the town. So let's make an area that encompasses sort of a ring around the perimeter.
Yeah.
Past that, we have kind of the social area. We have our, out of character chat. We have our resource tracking chat where people can kind of figure out how to barter. We have our server rules, that kind of thing, all the standard boilerplate stuff.
Yeah.
But then when you move down to the next section, the player-made shops,
Yeah.
that's the heart of the game. These are all of the shops from last year that people made together.
Yeah.
And this is where the amazing drama kind of unfolded.
Yeah. Nice. I like the shop names. Grave and Go. That's awesome.
The secret societies. I've been talking for a while. Hey, why don't you take this part?
Yeah, all right. So here you get to the secret societies. I granted you the permission to make you a Freemasons member, so you have access to the Masons Lodge. It's not safe for work. We had an issue with other players being able to view it, so this way we were able to put a little safeguard around it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's just like any other chat. But here, coming up, we have this is where the secret societies met, or one of them met, and a lot of drama came down. One of those, for instance, was one player had leaked some information about our secret society. So the other Masons, including my character, were setting him up to put him on trial. And excommunicate him. But some other things, that character had discovered a forge of a ritualistic thing of our society that granted him master status. So we can't excommunicate him because he's a higher rank or something. There was a lot that went down in this with secret meetings, trying to hide from other players, intrigue. And at the very beginning of it, it's so far up, but when we were voting for mayors, that was when we the Masons, as my character was a member of the Masons, we were trying to get one of our own people elected. And exactly, like that's the kind of thing that is happening. And
Yeah.
one of the dissenting players, the one that later leaked information, was somebody who did not want that person to be the mayor.
Yeah.
So that it was just a little bit of drama that caused from such a simple aspect in the chat.
Yeah.
And so there's another secret society you'll see on the left-hand side, the Order of Cairo.
Mhm.
This later became based on how everything worked together. We ended up combining the good aligned secret societies and sharing our information so we could all defeat the final boss together. And this wasn't something that was planned by DMs or something. This was a result of how the players came together and realized this is how we're going to choose to face Croatoan. And going further after secret societies, you'll see our map exploration. And this is where we had the map of Roanoke Island and we divided it into hexes. And so as our characters were able to put together maps using our crafting system, they were able to unlock these different areas to discover both secrets, monsters, and hints towards defeating the final boss. And through it, you'll see examples like Area 5, the Hanging Tree, which was a huge place where that's where our final boss was faced. And we had to, this final bit that you're seeing here with sandbags and things were how we were preparing by putting up some barricades using the lovely cantrip Mold Earth. And things like that, a little last hurrah before we either die from this horrible monster or make something here. Like this is something I wrote when I was just RPing in game of how we are going to make ourselves known or remembered in case we lose. And that was just
cool.
Something that we were inspired to do.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. And so just a very technical question, I guess, but so I see that when people are talking, they use quotes, right? Or
so in-game talking is used with quotation marks, and then actions are without quotation marks, and then anything that's semi-out of character, you'll see in parentheses.
Okay.
Additionally, anything that's like telepathic is put up in spoiler quotes.
Yes.
Smart. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And then scrolling down, you'll see like more of our exploration, and then you'll get down to the week 1 main events. And as we've discussed earlier, at the end of each week of this role play, every Friday, we would have a voice event, and these would be if you want to go ahead and click on one, Town Defenders or one. This you'll see how we had a different bot at the time that allowed us to roll dice, but going through, we divided our groups for this specific event to face one to defend the town, the other to attack a monster that could destroy the wall outside. And so these different groups, we'd be fighting with separate DMs. So DM Rob was in charge of Town Defenders, and then Brendan was in charge of our exterior or DMing our exterior defense, with different players choosing where to go based on their skills and choosing to band together and prepare as much as they can to face what were basically giant treant liches.
Oh my God.
So so that was some mix of like a horrible walking tree that could just knock down our front gates just like that we had to valiantly defeat and fight off, but we were able to fight back just in time. However, Town Defenders was very successful in doing it, but Exterior Defense, they lost a character to it. in the middle of that. And a player death in that, we're too low of a level to have resurrection. Besides, I believe, Raise Dead, the third spell that if they die within a minute, they can be raised.
Yeah.
That was used a couple times, but eventually you run out of spell slots, especially in the middle of a fight. Going down to week 2, we had another one. A Cone of Shame was just a side chat for a player, but a search party. This was when some of our players were kidnapped in the middle of the week and became polymorph villains while their actual characters were hidden in a cave. And in this, we were able to go on a hunt with, I think we had about 12 players in this one event that were active. They're able to come and fight. And we trudged through like dark forests and stuff in this newly revealed area on to basically the trap of the Mothman, one of the cryptids that we feature in the Roanoke games. And this was a dark and almost perilous journey, but we were able to pull through without any casualties at the end. And then we're able to recover all our kidnapped villagers before they were consumed by the hatchling Mothman.
Oh, it sounds great. So I see a lot of chat here and some dice rolls, I guess, here and there. And but there's also a voice channel. So how does that combine?
Would you like to go over that, Brendan?
Okay, sure. So typically speaking, in voice events, the way that chat gets interacted with the most is by visuals, like posting things that, hey, things show up, and then I'll call for dice rolls in the voice chat, and they'll go ahead and put them in there. So it's an easy way to kind of display what's happening and keep everybody in check as far as what they're actually rolling.
Yeah.
I wish that there was a way to actually roll dice in this game, because it's so satisfying to do that. Yeah. But unfortunately, we're limited by the constraints of technology. But as far as what we were talking about with, I'm kind of losing my spot here as far as what I'm trying to say.
It's fine. So you're completely okay. I put you on the spot there. With these, we're combining both the voice event. So the majority of the game, or that encounter, will take place in the voice event, with primarily the text just being used for dice rolls. However, once the voice event itself ends, the players are still free to interact in this space, and that's what we see here with our players talking to each other.
Yeah. Okay, because I was thinking, like, if I have to type and talk at the same time, that's I'm just a guy, I can't do that.
But you'll see like quite a bit, and we have, I guess, less frequent things. Sometimes we did have players that weren't able to talk in the voice chat because of technology restraints. They don't have a mic, that kind of thing. So they listened in with their headphones and then just typed what they would do. And then some things, for clarity's sake, like if we didn't quite catch what we wanted to do, we just type it so anybody can just reread it. And then here we'd get our visual cues as we go.
Okay. That's cool. Excellent. Okay. Wow. So I'm getting a much better idea now of how this works.